Okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you could see the drawing, but it's just very, very lightly. I just do a very loose layout of the shapes of the flowers, and I guess where I'd really want them to be. I usually make up my compositions. I get ideas from different flower arrangements that I've set up, or else this was from Blue Basil. That's a florist that I love their work over there, and I just put a lot of things together. I do a lot of plein air painting and constantly take photos of all the flowers. My main place is Frelinghuysen Arboretum. You could see me there like 3 days out of the week. I love their rose garden over there, but at all different times of the season, they have just beautiful flowers there. But yeah, so I guess I should start on telling you maybe what colors I use. Here I made a little, you can see, kind of a color palette idea. I use Aureolin, Jaune Brillant, Quin Gold, Burnt Sienna, Burnt Umber, Alizarin, Crimson, like the Rose Madder, Quin Red, Alizarin, they're all about the same, but I think the Rose Madder and Quin Red lift easier. The Quin Magenta, a tiny bit of Opera. I would mix it in with some other colors. I love Rose Doré, Sap Green, Green Gold, Undersea Green, Shadow Violet, Sepia, Payne's Gray, Ultramarine, Cerulean, Cobalt, French Ultramarine, Lavender, and I will use white gouache. I use permanent white usually, or else if I want something really opaque, this Dr. Martin's bleed-proof white. And it's really great. And it doesn't crack or anything. I mean, you can't put it on really thick or anything, but it really covers great. And I mix with it too. And let's see, I guess I'll show you how I would start. I did about 3 or 4 paintings, like the one that's framed, and there are 2 others right below it. I will be doing a demo with that type of a painting. I did have 4 practices, so I should kind of know what I'm doing. But yeah, so I guess I'll start here. All right, first I'll take a wide brush and just kind of swish water all over the place. It doesn't have to be totally all covered. Areas could be just left, especially areas which are white. I would kind of leave empty. And let's see. I like this brush. It's the Silver Black Velvet. It's got a nice point. It's just really a great brush, and it's cheap. And let's see, these flat brushes I use for lifting a lot. So I'm constantly painting with a round and a flat brush. So start here. I'll first start with this flower over here. I think I'm going to be having it like a white rose, and then next to it like pinkish rose, pinkish peachy rose, whatever. And leaves and hydrangea and not irises, lilacs. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, a lot of times I never know what's going to happen, so. Okay, this is ultramarine violet. And burnt sienna. It makes a nice kind of neutral gray, which I'll start with the center of the flower and kind of loosely some other areas there. I don't work on one flower at once. I just work it all over the place. Now I'll start with move of the leaves behind it to kind of pull it together. A little darker here. And then kind of lift areas. It's like constantly just pulling and pushing. A little Quinn gold. I'm kind of making a loose type of a okay.
Rita, would it be possible to straighten the board out so it's more perpendicular to the table?
I like that.
And then I'm going to try to fiddle with the lights a little bit so you can get better color for you. Probably everybody's getting a headache right now. I think that's better, isn't it? Is that okay, folks? A little better than it was before, right? And I'll switch it around every now and then to when she changes. Is that okay with you, Rita?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Now that's the shadow violet. You have to have a thirsty brush to lift.
Rita, Rita, is your brush dry or is it wet?
It's damp. I wet it and then I'll kind of just make it like it's real damp, so it'll be a real thirsty type of a brush.
Rita, you going from an image from your head, or you?
Well, I have these two tries that I had done before. One is a photo of the large one that's framed, and the other one is one of the others over there. Like halfway through, I came out with like a picture, I don't know, like that, and I forgot to take more steps, the photos of, but like I said, every single time they always come out differently. So, you know, I felt like, well, whatever it comes out this time.
Do you usually finish a painting in one session or one sitting?
No, a lot of times I would be just about done, except then I put a whole, I work on a series of paintings. I'll put them all by the front door, and then each time I kind of walk by, I'm always looking at it and saying, well, that one needs that, and that one needs that. So then I constantly kind of futz around with it, and until I figure it's done. Smaller. Trying to get the look of some kind of petals in the back. Yeah, it's constantly lifting and trying to get the shape better. Okay, now I will make a little kind of bud up here. To make some kind of flower type of feeling in the back here. Get some violet-y color in here. Bud here. Yeah, if anyone hasn't tried plein air painting, it's really a great escape in a way. It's, just so nice to be outdoors. And you don't come back with a masterpiece, but it's almost like a sense of peace being out there. There's a group, New Jersey Plein Air, of New Jersey Plein Air painters. And we go to different arboretums mainly around here. The Willowwood Arboretum, Bamboo Brook, Reeves Reed. And then there's a group that is more down south, more down by the water. They do a lot of waterscapes.
Does your group or groups, do they do any exhibits of their work?
Yes. Well, we are going to have a combination group over at the Chatham Municipal Building in September. It's going to be with the plein air group and the Chatham group of people that are together in both groups. So I think there's going to be about 7 of us, and we'll have a show there for a couple of months. And we did do one at Frelinghuysen a couple of years ago, and it was very successful. There were pieces sold. And I had a big show there last summer, and sold quite a bit. I guess my forte is hospitals and arboretums.
Now, I'm not an expert on foreign things, but there is an artist, I think he's either Brazilian or Italian. And the way you paint is quite similar.
Fabio Sembrinelli. Yes, he's one of my idols. I took 2 workshops from him, and he is amazing. He's going to be up at the Riverside Art Workshop next year. That's up in Newburgh, and I'll probably take him again. I mean, he just paints boom, 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 boom so fast, and his flowers are perfect. I just love his work. He's a real idol of mine. And also I really like Janet Rogers. I don't know if you know her. She does beautiful portraits also. And who else? I love Yuko Naganama. She's very good. I think she's going to be coming to Riverside Arts next summer also. She was going to come this year, but something happened. Had to postpone.
She's a terrific teacher. I've never taken one from her, but I listened to her
Yuko?
YouTube portrait. No, Janet.
Oh, Janet Rogers, yeah.
She just seems to make it up as she goes along, but it kind of ticks me off.
Yeah. Yeah, I took a workshop of hers. I took a workshop of hers also a few years back, and yeah, she's just amazing. We had to do this one kind of trick about, okay, we had to close our eyes and just try to do a contour drawing of a face, or was it a flower? I forgot. And yeah, it was really awkward, but interesting.
Ready in a hurry there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned, I was too busy with money over here, but your progression from oil to watercolor, or did you mention that?
Oh,
Pastel?
yeah, I loved painting with pastels for quite a while, but I don't know, my studio just got to be so dusty. I mean, I would take the books off of my shelf and just go, and it would be dust all over the place. And then I just started I don't know, feeling my throat getting kind of, not feeling too great. And I kind of stopped more with that. Even though I do want to pick it up again, maybe more outdoor type of work. But I mean, all these different mediums, they all have some kind of, really nice feeling you get when you work with them.
What do you do to avoid the dreaded bloom when you put your wet pigment down onto wet paper?
The dreaded what?
Bloom.
Oh, I don't get many blooms because I put, like on a wash, I wouldn't use the same type of, I guess you call it viscosity or whatever. I would use a thicker bit of the paint. It wouldn't be as watery. It would be just a thicker amount, less water. And I try not to get like about the same shape and size of brush strokes. It's something I'm still working on. You get kind of in a rhythm, and after a while you're thinking, oh my God, everything is like boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to want the center of interest up in this area. So I am going to have my largest contrast kind of in here.
Rita, do you predominantly use one paintbrush when you do your painting?
One paintbrush?
Yeah, just predominantly, you predominantly do most of the painting. with
I-
one paintbrush?
No, I use about two or three. One flat and one or two rounds. And then at the end, more of a liner to give the final smaller details.
This is always your palette?
No, you know, before I was asked to do this workshop, I had no idea what colors I was using. You know, I have a bag of probably 200 paints, and I noticed that at all these demos, everyone's asking, well, what color, and this and that, and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to tell them what color I'm using. And so I did kind of make an effort and choose certain colors that I really liked and did my whole palette over and labeled them all. And also, what else was it? Elke Memler, I don't know if anyone's heard of her. She does these really wild types of florals, very kind of abstract, and she uses, like, I guess liquid acrylic also with it. But you could look her up. Her name's Elke Memler. She's, I guess, from Germany. I think she's supposed to be coming to Riverside next year also. She was supposed to come this year again, but I don't know, there were a lot of cancellations this year. Yeah, Riverside is only maybe about an hour and 20 minutes from here. It's a nice drive. The woman has the workshops in the most beautiful home overlooking the Hudson. And usually she only takes about 12 people tops. I think Marion's been there. I saw her there a couple of years back. And this woman, she has artists from all over the world, Italy and Brazil and France, Canada, everywhere. And they're so hospitable. Margie and Malcolm, very, very nice people. It's like I kind of just mix everything on this palette.
Do you always stand when you paint?
Yes. Yeah, because I like to be able to walk back also, and then I would put it up also horizontally and look at it. I would take photos with my, phone, and then look at it also to see what it needs. And then I would, a lot of times, put it on my iPad in Procreate. And with that, you have a pen that you could draw with, and you could kind of play around with it rather than trying to figure out on another paper and paint and It's just, undo and do, and it's fun to play around with that.
I'm going to move the camera down now.
Well, I am going to paint all over, so
Oh.
I'm not done with the top.
Okay, well, I'd like to see down at the corner.
Oh.
That's okay.
And I try not to make everything so recognizable. Seems like, you know, your eye has to kind of figure out things and make up things too. A lot of these flowers here, this one's kind of like a make-believe too. When I was looking at it the other day, I was thinking, well, it kind of looks like a hellebore. So, and they're coming out now too.
Rita, is the paper dry down there?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably wet it a little bit. But yeah, it's constantly wet and dry. Spray it a little. Bluer. Yeah, I like this Hahnemühle paper. It's very easy to lift with it. It's a German paper. Arches is like, I don't know. I love arches for like very like direct type of painting. But, and it's nice, it stays flat. This sometimes I have to iron. And another good one, which is cheap, is Beohang. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. But that also, it warps a lot. But I mean, it lifts fantastic. But I just put it upside down, put it in a pillowcase, get the iron on steam setting, or else put a wet rag over it, and iron it until it's dry. Put some heavy things, books on for a couple of hours, and it's as flat as, so it can't get any flatter. A couple of the two larger ones that are not framed over there, those I ironed out, and you can see when you pick them up, they are so flat. And the colors don't change. It's good to know.
You iron them from the back? In a
Yes,
pillowcase?
yeah, I would put the painting side down and make sure that you have something over it, and then put like a wet rag over it or towel. Like I said, I put it in a pillowcase and then take it out, and it's like, oh, wow.
What was the name of the second paper you mentioned?
There's Beohang, that's a Chinese paper, but I like this Hahnemühle. Some dirt in here.
Rita, do you always paint at a slight angle?
Yes, yeah. I can't paint flat. I feel like there's some kind of glare, and I like the colors if they start kind of moving down a little bit. Sometimes I even paint, a lot more vertical.
When you go out plein air painting, how many pigments do you take with you typically?
How many papers?
How many pigments in your palette do you have when you go out plein air painting?
How many paints in the palette?
Yeah, how many?
I have a smaller palette. I guess probably around 15 wells. Not that I use them all, but it's, what's it called? Muniro, something like that. It's cheap, it's, I don't know, $15, but it works, it does the trick. A little peachier here. Yeah, I'm so happy spring is here, just about. Oh my God. At least we had an easy winter. And I don't hold my brushes way down. You can't get loose then. I hold them more further up. Let's see, might need something there. Dirt. I'm always like connecting shapes also. Don't want one thing to just be there by itself. And I have been trying to tone down my colors a bit. I felt like they were getting a little too bright. There's another artist, Shirley Trevina. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Is she Australian?
I'm not sure, but I've got a couple of books of hers, and so fantastic work. Yeah, I had such a hard time figuring out what am I gonna paint for this. You know, as you know, I've never done a demo before. I was I was terrified, thinking, oh my God. I had so many paintings of everything. I was painting a painting a day, trying to figure out what am I gonna paint. And I finally kind of, I don't know, came into this type of a feeling.
This is beautiful.
Thank you. I do want to get some more into landscape. I love painting flowers, but I feel like I need to branch out. Yeah, the trick is not to get too tight and kind of worked up in one area. That's why I like to kind of work on the whole painting at once. Like I'll still go up in that area and start working on it. Okay, what do lilacs look like? Kind of make them up. Oh, it will be lilac season soon. The plein air group does go out to Willowwood. They have a beautiful lilac garden over there. Stand back. I don't know if I like that.
I have to ask this because I'm curious. You seem to have the left side of the paper bias when you paint. Is that conscious?
Well, I wanted to kind of make a composition going from the right to the left and up.
I mean, in general.
Do I really, looking at the other, yeah?
Yeah, you don't.
I never noticed it.
Maybe she just likes to paint over there better than somewhere else.
Oh, I'll have to take a look at that.
There's no rhyme or reason. It's great that way.
Yeah, the trick is also not to put too much detail. Yeah, sometimes you just never know when is enough. So easy to overwork.
at a dried area?
Yeah, it's a little harder too, but you can carefully. But I like it when it's still just kind of like a little damp. That's the best time to lift out.
Does what you paint change with the season?
I try. I did some winter scenes. I did post one on Facebook. I should have entered in I guess, the Chatham show, since it still really was winter time. But I was so kind of worked up about doing this demo that I just kept on doing flowers.
Well, you've done part of the buildings at Frelinghuysen as well.
Yeah. I need to work on my perspective though. Yeah, I do want to concentrate some more on buildings too. I don't think I'll ever do portraits as John does. Let's see. It's like constantly adding and taking away. I try to kind of make a little story in here, seeing maybe vines and branches going up.
You ever do commissions?
I did a few. I was not happy doing it. Too much pressure.
You know Marilyn Rose?
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't know her?
Well, no, but she does these, I don't know how she does it. She goes to these weddings, she gets commissioned to paint at a wedding.
Does she really?
And, I don't know how frequently or somebody probably kind of put a stop to that, but you would be good doing commissions of the bouquet of the bride.
Well, I did 2 bouquets as commissions. And I guess they were happy. They didn't say, I want my money back. so I was happy to get rid of it. But, oh my God, it was so much pressure though. Some people, I guess it doesn't bother. But I just kept on thinking, well, she doesn't really know what I am thinking, and I'm not thinking what she's really thinking. So it's sometimes hard to kind of figure out, are they really going to like it? I know, I guess, you should always give them sketches and color ideas, like Ann Kuloff. I mean, she does tons of commissions. Yeah, like I said, I paint so much over at the Arboretum. I don't mind people watching me there. I know some people get like, I don't want people watching, but I really don't mind. And then I'll do negative painting and just kind of build a story.
Your work is like Richard Schmidt's work, except yours is watercolor and his is oil.
Oh, well, that's some compliment. I love his work.
His work is sort of sketchy, but vignette, but really realistic and all that. Really works.
Yeah, I love his work. I'd like to try oil. I tried it again. I'll try it again. I just don't know what to do with all the different mediums and solvents. I mean, when you're done painting, what do you do with the Gamsol or whatever it is? You know, you can't throw it down the sink. I mean, do you throw it in the garbage? Or I don't know.
It's a whole new story. That's
But I did buy the water miscible oils. I am going to try those.
And with the turfs, I just pour it into another container and let it, when it gets really dirty from the sides, it'll settle out and you can use it again. With the oils.
Yeah, I think I have one of those containers for the last 10 years in my studio with the old turp in it. A different type of, let's see, right. Okay. Some more darker here. Trying to get a nice flow. Yeah, I can't make a real, like intricate sketch and follow the sketch. I don't know, whenever I've tried, it never looks like it. I always start off on a different tangent and finish differently. Mark some more in this. Let's see. Thinner brush. I'm going to make some stems down here. Combination of shadow violet and I guess undersea. To be thicker.
Rita, what's that wonderful purple you got there, color?
Here?
Yeah.
I think that's probably a mixture of the ultramarine violet and quin magenta and probably some undersea green. Just a tiny bit of the green to make it less bright. And let's see, I'll wait a little bit for that. I'm not too happy with the flower yet. Yeah, each time you lift, you have to make sure your brush is clean. And you could only lift with a synthetic brush. The natural bristles are just too thin. You need a stiff brush.
Excuse me, does this Hana Mule paper come in different weights, and what weight do you paint on?
I paint on the 140. It does come in 300 also, but I like the 140. I think I'm not sure if they still make the Cezanne. I like the Cezanne, but I think they have a new one now, Collection or Collectors, and I think it's a combination type of Cezanne and one of their other ones. And I heard it's supposed to be very good. I saw some reviews on it. I'm going to try it. I should make it going through. There's the left side again. Guess branches are all over the place. I will put some bleed-proof white. It's a watercolor. It's not an ink. It's by Dr. Martens. Very opaque. I sometimes mix it with some other colors too. Need some more color up there. Again, I'm trying not to get them all looking like beep, 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 beep.
Can you lift that once it's dry?
No, not this white stuff. No. But you could paint over it, which a lot of times I still will. I'll add some more color, seems like. Let's see. Maybe up here.
Rita, you got about a half an hour.
Oh, okay, thanks. See, just a touch. Yeah, this is great for just adding some little highlights.
What do you think the difference is between that and gouache?
This is more opaque. I have the gouache here also. I sometimes mix it with some of my regular watercolors, and I like doing it. It just gives a different kind of dimension. It gives a nice effect.
Is this thicker or thinner than gouache? How do you get out of the two?
Well, this is kind of liquidy. You have to mix it up. You get a palette knife and you mix it up. It's, I guess, thinner. Yeah, because the gouache, it just comes out very, like regular watercolor. But I use both. Maybe I'll put some gouache over there with the greens. That's too little. Yeah, so it's mainly like around 4 brushes I use out of all these. Whatever workshop you take, they're always saying, well, you have to get this and you have to get that.
And of course, we get it all the time.
Yes. Yeah, and then you've got so much stuff at home.
Mention a very specific brand of toothpicks or something, and all of a sudden there's a run on those.
Yeah. Yeah, or the kind of paper towel to use.
Yeah.
You have to use Bounty.
No, I think it's You're right.
And then you're thinking, all right, well, if I get that stuff, I'll paint just like the artist.
you ever go overseas to Europe for workshops or?
No, I've never been. I'd love to, but I don't know if my husband's gonna pay for it. He'll say, you spend enough money on art here. But, you know, we have so many great artists that do come from Europe to teach here, so. But, I mean, I would love to go to some of those places. Now, this is a mixture of some gouache and regular paint. Gouache dries a little darker, so it takes a while to kind of figure out how it goes.
But that's water soluble.
Oh, yeah.
You can lift it again, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you'd be able to lift it very well. The only difference is that gouache, the pigment, they're larger particles of the pigment and they're closer together, but it's the same binder, same gum arabic. Everything is the same except that they're just larger pigments, and then it just stands more on top of the paper. But it's great if you want to go over areas and not have the color bleed through.
Could you please repeat your process on how you flatten your paper business with ironing it?
Oh, yeah, that's really great.
Fascinated. Well, I've wet it on the back and weighted it down, but I never ironed it.
No. I would just put it in a pillowcase, put it painting side down on a flat board,
Yeah.
then put a wet fabric over it.
On top of the pillowcase?
Yes, on top of the pillowcase. Get
Okay.
a dry, too much steam maybe is not good, so just a regular dry iron, as hot as you could get it, iron it totally flat, then I'll put a couple of books on top after it's dried off in there, from the iron.
Right.
And an hour, 2 hours later, it's fine. It's, like as flat as a pancake.
Thank you.
It works all the time, and the colors don't change, and it's, really great. almost done.
Rita, at what point do you say it's done?
I think I might have to say it before I screw it up. That's always a hard decision. Like I said, I would put it by our front door for a couple of days, and then if I don't see anything else, then I'll say it's done.
And that's when you sign your name?
Yes. I don't like that area, but here. I don't know if I should add another leaf down here, but big decision.
Leave
No.
it.
Leave it. Don't like this area here.
Did you say you usually use the flat brush for lifting?
Yes, always. You can't really lift with the round. It doesn't have enough bounce to it. You know, I think I'm gonna. Well, I think I'm gonna leave it now. Yeah, I had ideas of putting maybe some flowers up there, but I'm not sure if it really needs it. Maybe. There you go, sign it. Okay. Okay, what color?
Are you signing it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have,
Where did my eraser go? I need to get just a couple of the lines. Didn't like here.
Want me to scrub it from the video until you give it?
No, that's okay.
Okay. All right, fantastic. The colors don't register quite as well on the screen, so when you see it here, it's a big difference.
All right, I'll take this off.
Let me turn the lights on.